If you have seen the movie, 127 Hours, then you might be shocked to know that it is actually based on a true incident. The movie, 127 Hours, tells the story of a man's determination to survive after hiking accident. The new film from Oscar-winning director Danny Boyle tells a remarkable true story of courage and survival. In May 2003, Aron Ralston began canyoneering in Utah, navigating the narrow passages of Blue John, with a mixture of free climbing, daring jumps and climbing with ropes. He was negotiating a 10-foot drop in a 3-foot-wide canyon, listening to his favorite band Fish, when he dislodged a boulder he thought was stable. Ralston said, "I go from being out on a lark in a beautiful place, and just being so happy and carefree to, like, oh shit. I fell a few feet in slow motion. I look up and the boulder is coming, and I put my hands up and try to push myself away, and it collides and crushes my right hand." Ralston was pinned in the canyon, his right hand and lower arm crushed by the 800-pound rock. The next second, the pain struck. Then for 45 minutes he cursed like a pirate. Then he reached for his water bottle. As he drank, he had to force himself to stop. He realized that this water is the only thing that's going to keep him alive. Having failed to tell anyone where he was going, he knew he would not be found. He put the lid back on the water bottle, and gathered himself. He was like, "I have to think my way out of here." As he describes how he thought through his options, he taps his prosthetic arm on his fingers. He ruled out the most drastic option, that is suicide, but the next most drastic alternative came to him immediately. After 2 days, spent fruitlessly chipping away at the rock with his knife and devising a clever but futile system of pulleys with his climbing clips and ropes to hoist the boulder clear, he was defeated because climbing rope is stretchy, and he couldn't obtain the required tension. He put his knife to his arm, only to find it was so blunt he couldn't even cut his body hair. In Boyle's film, when Ralston realizes he can use the knife, like a dagger rather than a saw, the camera follows the knife's journey into his flesh, so the audience can see blade come to rest against bone inside his arm. This scene is beautiful to Ralston. He vividly remembers how it felt to have the knife in his arm, touching his bone, because he accepted the fact that he is gonna die there. By the 5th day, Ralston had found peace in the knowledge that he is going to die here. This is his grave. In the middle of his final night, hallucinating through hunger, lack of water and 3 degrees Celsius temperature, he had a vision of a small boy. He said, "I see myself in this out-of-body experience playing with him with a handless right arm. I see myself scoop him up and there's this look in his eyes. Daddy, can we play now? That look tells me this is my son, this is in the future, I'm gonna have this experience someday. Now it's like, I am going to get through this night." The next morning, finally, came the rage and its revelation, that Ralston could fling himself against the boulder, to break his own bones. From then, it was easy. The snap of his bones was a horrifying sound, but for him it was euphoric, he recalls. He said, "The detachment had already happened in my mind. It's rubbish, it's going to kill you, get rid of it, Aron. It's in it. It's no longer my arm." As I picked up the knife, I was very cool and collected. It took him an hour to hack through his flesh. As painful as it all was, the momentum of the euphoria was driving it, he says. In the canyon, Ralston calculated that it would take him at least 10 hours to find medical help, and he would bleed to death, but using pieces of climbing kit as a tourniquet, he strapped himself up, and somehow managed to scale a 65-foot cliff, to escape the canyon. Exposed to the fierce sun, he was found by 3 Dutch tourists, who gave him water, and helped him stagger on, before he was picked up by a search land rescue helicopter, dispatched by his family to look for him. Ralston, who is now 35 and still with the wiry physique of a climber, has just attended the London premiere of 127 Hours, Danny Boyle's film about his extraordinary escape from certain death. Boyle shot 127 Hours at the exact spot where Ralston had the accident, but added some fictional scenes. Ralston still likes solitude, but when he goes out rafting and climbing, now he almost always takes his friends. For 6 days, Aron Ralston kept himself alive, with fierce self-control and a conviction that only logical thought could let him survive. If you have seen this movie, then what's your thought on this? If you want to know more such stories, then hit that subscribe button. Comment down what do you want to see next.